Would you like to see Cities Skylines with 5 different builders? Are you excited when their cities get choked with traffic? Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm the third bee in this... I'm the fourth bee in this season's 5B1C, or something like that. Never mind, just watch. Alright, so now we need to build up this neighborhood and bring in some jobs in this neighborhood. Get Pine Hill and Dale Hill redeveloped. Let's think about how we're going to connect Daleview Parkway here again. I want to have this connect, but I don't want it to be so direct that I end up with intersections too close together. I'm not super worried about how much traffic is going to come out of this neighborhood. We do have a decent transit line running through here, if I recall. Yeah, we've got a bus line, and then it connects to the trams, so we don't really have a whole lot of commuters that need to come through that neighborhood, come from that neighborhood and out. We've got good walkable transit destinations right there, so I'm not too worried about the connectivity here. I suppose I don't really need to fret over this too much, but I do want to be able to get a few delivery trucks and whatnot in here, so perhaps just this direct connection will do the trick, will suffice. Yeah, let's try that. The other thing I don't want to do is I don't want to develop along Main Street here. I want to have basically the back ends of buildings coming through here. And the best way to achieve that is probably just going to be to run a street parallel and D-zone off of Main Street. Yeah, that's too steep right there. I think that just works. That looks good. Now we just need to flesh out the rest of the neighborhood. Alright, it's coming along, it's coming along. Alright, so let's see if we can get Dale Drive brought through here. Not exactly sure how I want to do this. Really, I sort of like the idea of having it come through here. Let's see if that can be done. That is really steep. So let's not do that. Alright, so there's some steep spots in there too, but I think we're going to be able to grade that really nicely. Let's check this one first. Give that a nice even 4.8. 4.3 I can live with. Flatten that out. And we're going to redevelop all of this anyway. And we could probably make this a real street right here. Ooh, like that. Let's rework this a little bit. That's not quite the way I wanted. I think this is shaping up. That looks like a good start. Okay, I think we're ready to start zoning some stuff in here, finally. Let me work on the street names here a bit and make sure I have... Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to do just now. I want to connect my bicycle infrastructure across. Looks like 8th Street sort of ends. I was thinking about moving the bicycle street to 7th Street, but of course I have a ramp in my way. So maybe I'll keep that right where it was. I don't know. I could bring it over to 6th Street too and just add another bicycle way. Oh, 5th Street already has one. Maybe I'll do that. Oh man, it's in a deep valley though. I don't know if that's going to be such a great idea. Let's see if we can get it to go through where it was. If we can get it through there any better than City Planner already did, that would be great. I might raise the height of the Main Street ramp right here. Let's check the grade on that first, though. It's a steep one. It's not too bad, though. Alright, so now it's a little better. What are our odds of threading a bridge or something through there? It's not looking very easy to pull off. I think what we might have to do, well, we are tearing up this neighborhood quite a bit, so we could do something with 5th Street. Took out a lot of dirt there. I don't know if it's enough to fill in that valley. It's quite steep. Even if we could reach across to 4th Street, that would be a little improvement. I don't know. I really like to get the bicycles connected back in here. It's definitely a lot harder than it was. Let me soften this terrain up here. Something else we'll do here is we'll make it so this actually has a crosswalk here. Yeah, there we go. That'll allow our bicyclists to use this connector right here. And I'm going to change that up to, oops, I'm going to make that one of our shared paths here. Hopefully the terrain will cooperate. Whoops. All right, we might have room. Yeah, I think we can ascend. Yeah, we'll be able to get the best of both worlds here. All right, so we're fully connected. The bicycle lane down Dale Drive connects all the way over to this bicycle infrastructure that is new. We'll probably use some sort of connection here, but I don't know if I might need a mod for that. And actually, when I redevelop over here further to the south, I think I'll do that. So right now, let's get this zoned up. I know I've been saying that a lot. Let's actually get to it then. I'm going to put some offices here along this area. This down here, I think, should be commercial. We'll just splash some commercial in right here. One thing I better check first, though, is that, yeah, that looks better. So the grid matches up. I think we're going to just squish this in here. Get some offices down here. Make that more commercial. We're going to concentrate the jobs close to where I'm going to put the tram stop. In fact, I can put that tram stop in right now. I've got some water problems here. Hang on. I should do... Yeah, those trees are fine. Traffic is moving really well through here still. Looks like I missed another spot with water here. Okay, so... Actually, I should probably leave some of that as bicycle. Actually, I'm going to switch this to bicycle lane right here. And I'm going to use node controller, I think. Yeah, I need crosswalk right there. I took the bike lanes out here. I think I'm going to put them back into there. I don't know if that really makes sense, but we'll do it anyway. I'm going to make that a custom so that I get crosswalks on the end there, which will make the bicycle lanes a little more usable. So nobody really wants to live next to Main Street. So this is going to be offices through here too. We're going to make sure there's not a lot of height here. I don't think we have a lot to worry with that. Yeah, I'm going to put offices here too. They don't create as much traffic as commercial does, so you can kind of get away with it. Now, yeah, I need another office building right here, but I think I can go with residential right here. Again, we're going to manage the height, make sure that things don't get too big. Oops, what did I just do? All right, so far so good. Let's make sure that we have a tram line through here. Uh-oh. Oh, those are just one-offs. No, they're bad traffic. Yeah, so let's take a look at the traffic here before I put that tram line in. We do see an improvement, not a drastic one, but this was backed up all the way to Main Street. It's only backed up to 4th Street now. Yeah, 5th Street. A little past 5th Street. This 2nd Street is not backed up too bad at all anymore, and this is not backing up beyond where the lanes form, the exit lanes form. So that's a huge improvement actually, because it's not, although that was sort of ebbing and flowing, we don't see a huge amount of concentration right here. Now let's look at our routes info view really quick and see if we've had any improvement on how much traffic is trying to get to that neighborhood that was causing these problems. This is the ramp question. Okay, so we still have a few people who decided that they've got to go all the way out to Green Hill from that direction, but it's not as bad as it was. We don't have anybody trying to go to Green Park. Coming off the highway, yeah, we still have some people trying to do that. So I can't completely fault Overcharge Egg there, but we are seeing a lot more traffic coming through here, and we're not seeing any crushing traffic. Let's look at traffic view. This is still green. This is red, but it's really moving just fine. There's no reason why we need to panic on that at all. We do need to get this managed a whole lot better than it is, but I don't see anywhere near the amount of red. I don't know if I remember to show you the red at the beginning, but this whole neighborhood was really gridlocked, and now everything is moving except for right in the immediate area of the interchange. So this is a huge improvement over what we had before. We've lost some population. That's not good. Have we lost jobs? No, we've gained some. So now we're balanced a lot more than we were, but it looks like we took a haircut in the process. So we really need to fix the traffic over here, and I think I'm going to save that for another episode here. We're going to try to get this filled in here. I need to get some parks over here because my property value is not very high. So what can I do to increase value over here? I think that it would make sense to get some parkland in, even if it was just a dog park or something. That might make a big difference. Maybe we'll put this here at the end of Layton Street. It's really steep right there, but that might be our best spot. And it doesn't really mess with the terrain too much, a dog park, so that's good. And it's right along the tram line. So you can take your tram out to the dog park and walk your dog. We have not renamed all the streets, but I'll get to that in a second here. It does seem like things are working pretty well here, though. I mean, look at the traffic level. I really feel like I could probably take out these ramps, and that would probably work really well still, even after we jam all this stuff in here. And traffic isn't doing too bad in spite of not having the tram yet either. So let's put the tram in. So first thing we want to do is we'll start with a connection right here. We'll go the other direction. I think this is central to the rest of the neighborhood here without being too close to any of the other stops that we're going to have. So put a stop right here. We'll put another stop right here, and we'll put one here. Actually, we don't need one right there. Maybe we should put one there. Yeah, let's put one. Let's put it beyond the intersection right here. Put one here. Now this could be a branch line, but I think I really want it to be a loop. Federal line weaves its way through over to Cheese Park. The Highland line weaves its way over to Oak Point. We should probably think about maybe reducing what we've got going on the Highland line. We have on the Highland line right now, we've got a fair number of passengers. Most of it's on the Federal line, but the Federal line is longer. We don't have any overwhelmed stations, but we're running at 175% there. Federal line has an overwhelmed station, actually has a bunch of them. Now, one of the things I want to do is get a better tram asset here. Let's see where these overwhelmed stations are. Over here, yeah, I'm not surprised about that. That is a major transit hub right there, and we're having terrible traffic problems, which is going to make it even worse. That is another serious spot right here. Everything downtown seems pretty congested. So they're all trying to get out of downtown to get somewhere. And how many trains are on the Federal line? We're at 200%. So that's already pretty congested. So let's think about this for a second here. Where is everybody going to want to go? I sort of think that maybe we should build a line down Chestnut, and that would parallel Federal and maybe take some of the load off. Well, let's just experiment with this a little bit, see where we wind up. Build the loop in the other direction here now. Okay. Now, something we could also consider doing is branching the Highland line. And we could run fewer trains in some places. I think we should think about doing that very seriously. Have one that's Highland and 3rd and another one that's Highland and 11th. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this brings us down here. I think we might change this up when we bring the other line in and have it loop around here. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Yeah, I think it might be. Let's reduce the capacities on these loops. Take them down to 80. Let's do 75. Okay, so that's Highland and 11th. Let's not have it come out here. We'll have another Highland and 3rd line that will come out there. There we go. So that's Highland and 11th. Now let's build a Highland 3rd. Okay, we'll make that a darker green, and then we will set the budget to 75%. And we'll let that sink in. Let me make sure that these loops are not over. That looks good. Another academic year passes. That looks pretty good. I could probably drop down to 60. Let's do 60. That one I hesitate to go down too low, but let's do 60. Federal line still has a lot of traffic. Oh wow, it's really bad. We definitely need bigger tram cars on these ones, more capacity. And we don't have it. Highland and 11th. Ooh, what is that station? That is okay. I don't know where all those sims are trying to go. Well, one side of the Highland line might need more capacity than the other side. We'll let that run and work its way through. And we'll check and make sure that we're not going to get overwhelmed here with heights. Looks like we've got a height restriction in there. I believe city planner put that high-rise ban in. Now, how are we doing with land value and over here? Doing okay. We could probably bring some services into this neighborhood. It'd be good to bring that in before it gets to be too late. Some police. Oh, we definitely need police. Let's get police right here. Looks like a good location. Now, do we have fire coverage? Not really. Not very good. Let's make that fire. I don't know if I want it to get stuck in traffic, though. That could be a problem. How's our service coverage over here? It's not that great. Why don't we put it right here? And actually, let's put the police down there too. I don't think police is... Yeah, the police coverage is really kind of patchy there too. And we're going to make that a real bridge, but we're going to only allow emergency vehicles to go across. No trucks. We don't want garbage trucks. We want taxis, cars to go through there. Actually, we'll let the garbage trucks go through too. So no trucks, no taxis, no cars. That looks good. So that should improve the service coverage over here a little bit. It's not as good as I'd like still, but it is much better. And how about healthcare? We should have pretty good healthcare coverage because the hospital's nearby. That neighborhood looks like it could use a clinic, if not a whole other hospital. Yeah, that would really improve things in that neighborhood. All right, we'll put that there. Police and fire are acceptable. Education. What are we doing on elementary schools? Not good. Not good at all. We've got one in that neighborhood. It's not ideally located. High school is looking okay there. All right, so that's something else we might want to consider adding at some point. Leisure things look pretty good. I wanted to add some things though. How about if we add something larger? How would that look? Pretty well. I'm gonna rezone some of this here so that we don't get noise complaints. Well, Pine Hill is starting to take shape, and it looks like our transit system is getting bogged down in some of the same traffic that we had before. Let's look at the tram network here again. Federal line is still crazy busy. The loops are not super busy. Well, at least one of them isn't. Let's drop it to 50%. Definitely do without the congestion of having too many trams on the streets. Lots of cities back in the day had problems with too much streetcar congestion. That's how come they had so many metros built. Island and 11th is very busy, but it's down to a reasonable number now. Island and 3rd has gotten quite a bit busier now. Which stations are getting hit? It's quite a traffic jam we have here. We've got several lines crossing at this particular location, which seems to be a problem. We could probably use more streetcar, more room for streetcars on this particular section of street. It doesn't look like it's as bad as it could be though. It's definitely bottlenecked a little bit, but it's not that bad. I've definitely seen it worse. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's probably bottlenecked somewhere else too. Okay, so Highland and 3rd is now much busier than I would have expected. Stations. Okay, this one is busy. That one's busy. That one's busy. So that's interesting. We might consider having these loops rather than just loop around. We might want them to go up to Highland. I'm not really sure. We're having a lot of problems with death care. I really feel like that's probably a congestion issue. It could be that we don't have enough crematoriums though. I'll bet you that they're all getting stuck over here. Okay, so we have our traffic pattern has come back here on Main Street at the Cascade Highway, where we got a lot of people wanting to turn left here. We're going to take care of that in just a second. The reason why that's happening is, oh my, what has happened to our tram network? Well, I don't know. This is what I get for reloading. Anyway, what I did off camera is I actually reversed a few segments on the ramps here at 17th Street, which has made it so that they are unusable, because I really want to take that highway interchange out. Now, what that has caused, although that was working really well, but it seems like now that the outside traffic has caught up, we have problems with this ramp again, and the reason being is because I only have two turn lanes, and a lot of people are trying to turn left here. So for the time being, we're going to restore that and have that shared right turn there. It's not like it's really going to hurt anything to have this, and I'm going to force everybody to stay in their lane. I know Biffa is not a real fan of this particular solution, but it really does make a huge difference. We don't need it there, but here we need to make everybody stay in their lane, so that way they don't start cutting over as soon as they get off the highway. This is going to help increase the amount of throughput we've got here. Now, one of the things that we'll see now that we don't have 17th Street is the intercity buses using the Main Street ramp again. So that's a huge problem, and we don't want that to continue. That's going to be a bunch of big traffic that we don't want hanging on in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish through either 24th Street or we'll add a 25th Street, and we'll build some ramps that will allow traffic to again get into this area without having to use Main Street if it doesn't want to. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to actually just demolish these ramps. Okay, so now our bicycle network will not have all that craziness going on at this interchange, and now we will have room in order to build those ramps. Let's do that now. Let's move the fire station over a block. That will allow me to add a block right here for 25th Street. Just noticing that this node here looks a little messed up. Let's see if we can fix that with the node controller. Looks like there might be an added node here. It's just that node is really, really, really big. If we slope it, it mostly looks good. Might have been a little aggressive with this. Trying to make it look straighter. I mostly succeeded. Doesn't look right when it's flat. To be sloped. I would really prefer that not have an even more excessive grade, as I remember that was a pretty steep grade right there. I think I'm just gonna have to suffer with the slight curve in there. I would fix that, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's fine. Just pretend it's not there. But that looks a little bit more natural right there. Okay, so now we need to do something here to... this bridge is way higher, and I'm also ascending the hill here, so I need to make sure that this is high enough. I can eyeball it and say, I think it looks pretty good. I'm not going to measure it exactly. We'll just go with it. I think it'll be fine. I don't see any protruding street lights. That's the one thing I really don't like, that I like to avoid here. So now, let's check the grade on that segment of road. I'm really curious about this. 4%. I can do that. And now we'll add the ramps. Now, I'm probably not going to want this here to be... I think I might just end this road here so that it doesn't become a problem. Actually, I don't know. That isn't a terrible place to have a road. I don't really want zoning on this road, though. We'll deal with that in a bit. I need to add another mod. That's something I forgot to do, is add another mod for the zoning. Okay, so I want to be at this node here, I think. Well, you know what? Let's test that out. So most traffic's going to be turning right here. We'll soften that just a little bit. Now I want the angle off. Don't really want heavy vehicles turning left here anyway, so I'm going to go with a 75-degree angle right here. This may need to be a pretty long ramp. Oh, this isn't too bad at all. 3%, that's really reasonable. I might possibly... I think it would make it more steep than I'd like it to be. So 3%, well, that's totally acceptable. I like that. That's a great grade. And then we'll squeeze it in here. It does not want to align with the node I want. That's probably why. Do the same thing here. We'll have a slight angle going in there. Now we'll check the grade on the other ramp. 2%. Can't argue with that. That's magnificent. So I really hate to have an exit right after here. So I need to clean this up. I really think that it would be a good idea to have a fourth lane form, sort of the way Zardis had it over here. Now, of course, that looks a little cockeyed, but rather than changing where the road is, I'm going to change how the road flows with the node controller. Change that to a custom. Okay, I can't do that. We need to shift over the blue side, I think. Shift it over 2 meters on this side. Shift it over 2 meters there. Shift the red 2 meters, and everything lines up pretty nicely, except for... Oh, you know what? It's the wrong kind of piece, I think. Strange. Getting the right node over here. Doesn't look like I have it over here either, though. I think I know what I need to do. Yeah, that's what it is. There we go. That's what I want. Oh, we gotta move that node. Oh, there we go. All right, so we have that. Now let's see if maybe there's a way we can add a way to get up the hill here to Manor Terrace. This is a pretty steep drop right here. Now let's just try that for kicks. 8%, followed by an 11%. Okay. So we probably flatten some of this out. It would really be a good idea. I would love to just connect straight up to Garden Terrace. But I don't think that's going to work out real well, because there's going to be just a giant grade on that anyway. Manor Terrace is probably the best we're going to get right here. 6%, that's pretty steep. Not gonna lie. That's not steep at all right there. Well, I really do think that that is how they would handle that. Obviously need to fix this up a little bit. Since this is a highway project, I'm going to take some greater liberties here. I am just going to move this terrace back. Yeah, 4.1% I like. That's fine. Now let's move it here. Looks like we've got a lot of extra traffic lights over here. I don't know when this happened. Okay, that looks a lot better. I think I want that traffic light. That one. We're going to try to go without that one. I think we're going to have to... Oh, wait. I'm going to try and see if it'll work without a traffic light. I have my doubts. But traffic isn't crazy heavy down here, so you might get away with it. The other thing I think I'm going to do... No, we're going to let it see how... Let's see how this goes. All right, so now we have a 25th Street interchange, and 25th and 17th Street come out pretty close to each other, but I don't really care. It's just the way things worked out. Now it looks like our tree line has moved. Don't want anything building right there. I don't really want anything building anywhere through there. So we'll give that a go for a little while. Now this has the added benefit of relieving some of the traffic trying to get through to a lot of places really here. And now our intercity buses, as you can see, are using the new ramps, as are many other tourists. It is going to be a pretty busy little area right there, but it looks like things are working pretty well. I'm going to add some more traffic controls right here. I'll make that a four-way stop. So I thought that building a park fence here would actually prevent development, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I'm not really sure if there's a mod or something interfering, but I could have sworn that that actually worked. I'm gonna just slap in a dirt path here. Not quite that long. Let that build back the way, better way here. And I'm gonna throw some office buildings right here because this is a good place for office, but not a good place for pretty much anything else. This is a really tough intersection right here. I'm not really crazy about having all these pedestrians coming through here. I'd love to have a bridge that went across 25th Street, but I'll leave that for somebody else if they want to improve that. But this seems to be working pretty well. And let's check out Main Street now. We shouldn't have quite as many trying to go to Douglas Street here. I added a timed traffic light here that does sync with Douglas. Definitely have a lot stacking into that lane. All right, so I'm going to rearrange this again. That will be left turn only. Whoops. And that will allow turns on Douglas. I kind of think that I might need to change that. This should distribute the traffic on the lanes now with the new traffic pattern a little bit better. So far, so good. All right, now I could definitely refine the timings on this because I'm waiting too long before I allow these guys to go off of the highway. But it's much more balanced now. Maybe it'll work out a little better. There won't be quite as much traffic on Douglas anymore either because we don't have any of those intercity buses coming through. Actually, so far so good. Well, I think this is gonna work. This looks good. We've got a lot of bicyclists on our path going across here. All right, so just to give you an idea of some of the things that I changed through here, I did add in timed traffic lights, which is great. We don't have any left turns here anymore, and that's a continuous right going onto the highway. We do not have any left turns here because we relocated everything over in Dale Hill. We do have left turns coming off the highway, but they're insignificant now compared to what they were. That seems to be working really well now. I like that. These are not synchronized. These are on separate systems. This is a timed traffic light, but it's not coordinated with these two. And I do that specifically because on these diamond interchanges or these, partial cloverleafs, I guess is kind of almost a partial cloverleaf, but it only has one loop on it. I made it this way because I want these to work independently of each other because sometimes it'll be synced for one and sometimes it'll be synced for the other. Either way, there's plenty of room for storage and there's not nearly the traffic volume that we used to have here. So that's good. And then I have a traffic light here, I think. Do I have a traffic light there? Yes, I do. But there's not anywhere near as much traffic going through there, probably somewhat because of the bicycle network, but I don't know if I want to give full credit to that so much as I want to give credit to probably the trams. Now, I added an asset when I reloaded the game here just a bit ago, and I'm going to swap out some of these tram assets on my busiest lines, like the Federal line goes first. So I'm going to go to the K5000 Unicolor, and that will switch all of those out. It has a much higher 210 is the capacity instead of 90, so I'm more than doubling the capacity here. And the Highland and Third line does have some overwhelmed stations too, so let's change it to the K5000. And I'm going to drop that down to, try to get away with 60% on this line. And I'm going to do the same thing on Highland and 11th. Drop it to 60%, try to reduce congestion on streetcar lines, and switch over to the K5000. Now, the central loop has 3 vehicles, but it's running at 50% capacity. Maybe we'll leave that one alone. Let's make sure the Federal line doesn't have an overwhelming number of vehicles on it. Let's drop that one down to 150%. I think that still might be too high. It's going to take a while for the streetcars to all come out, so we'll check back on that. Whoa, somehow I am over here in Highland. Must have clicked on a station. Okay, so all those purple ones are going back to the depot. They're out of service. They've got a long way to go home. All right, and the other thing I did here is I redirected Daleview Parkway. You have to take, well, it's not going to be Davies Street or Raymond Circle, but we'll name the streets here in a bit. But you have to go through this little area, and then you can get to the highway. This is not the most direct route, because the most direct route would be to walk or take the tram from Bayview or down here on this street right here. And then Pine Hill is building up nicely. We've still got a lot of low density development in here, but that's going to change really quick. We've got some pretty high use over here on these trams, and hey, that's one of our new trams. Let's see how full it is. Ooh, it's not even close. That's awesome. It looks beautiful. That's a gorgeous vehicle. There's another one right there. Probably can reduce some of this, but I'm going to wait for things to filter through before I make that judgment. Another thing I did over here is I did the same thing, except a little more extensive. I have 2 time traffic lights here, one for the westbound ramps, one's for the eastbound ramps. This coordinates with the intersection at 2nd Street. This one here coordinates with the intersection at Trackside Road. Now, this roundabout is not getting a whole lot of traffic anymore. That is a beautiful thing. And if we take a look at the traffic info view here now, I think we'll see a lot less red. It looks like all the streetcars coming in and going out is jammed things up, but that's temporary. That should clear pretty quick. I could probably help things along. Yeah, I could help things along quite a bit, actually. I'm going to manually make that a green light, and I'm just going to hold up traffic on Concord Boulevard until this clears. Come on. It looks like that's about the last of it. Still going to have a traffic jam through here because of everything. Looks like we've got a bunch coming through here on the federal line, too. Well, that's not good. Set up some priority signs here. I'm going to give a yield to those. I really think a traffic light through here might be a good idea. If any of the cars made it out here, yes they have. All right, so now let's check out the federal line and see how congested things are. Ooh, it's a lot more trains than I think we need. I could be wrong. Wow, it still hasn't made it over here though. I'll let that run a little longer. I really feel like that's probably too many trains. Let's take it down to 100. We'll reduce the congestion and then we'll add trains. Highland and 3rd. I think we're gonna need more vehicles. It'd at least be good if they weren't bunched together. We'll let that run a little longer though. Let's see what happens here. There's the train we're waiting for. I picked up most of the passengers. There's one not too far behind. Okay, that's gonna take a while to fix itself. Now let's look at congestion. It looks a lot better than it did. You guys see some red over here, but everything is moving. It's not backed up. These 2 sets of time traffic lights are not synchronized to each other. They just work independently, which means that hopefully they won't have the same problems that the ones they had before. Now over here, we're definitely seeing some traffic jams, and that's because we took away Green Road, or Green Street here. So let's get a time traffic light going here, because I think what's happening is we've got these roads all come in at different angles, which means it's only going to let one go at a time. The Sims can handle better than that. We'll just keep it simple, 2 cycles. All right, so part of the problem here is that this is a very undercapacity road. We need more capacity. So we're going to lose some of the power lines here. Let's see if I can avoid some of that. Just leave it where it is. Okay, so most of that looks like it's working pretty well. We probably need a little more capacity on Concord Boulevard here too. Yeah, we need more capacity here, I think. So, what do we have going on here? We have a bus stop. Yes, we do. Yeah, I think we need a little more width here. Now, yes, this does have a walking path in the center median. I think we'll be okay without that though. We'll do the same thing here. Interesting. All right, so here's a time where I want to use the lane connector. Those to be all right. That's straight only, and this is left only. I think that will balance things out nicely. Yeah, that's working a lot better than it was. Now down here, is that a traffic light that we've got, or is it just a button? Yeah, we do have a traffic light. I don't think we need that traffic light so much anymore. Stop sign there. I want stop signs here. We already have stop signs there. I want one here too. This intersection here is trouble. This is real trouble. All right, so we don't have very many people who are gonna turn right here, let's be honest. We need that lane for just highway traffic. Just want to go on record that I am not crazy about this intersection at all. This was designed to all work out of Center Street. Well, yeah, Center Street right here. I did not anticipate any ever increasing what was going on there. There's no way I think we would ever have expected residential traffic to go through here. I'm cool with this intersection. This is fine, but I'm not crazy about this one. I just wouldn't have crammed more stuff in there than was already there. And then here, I like this even less. I did plan on having this extend back, but I didn't expect direct highway access. I think we'll be able to make it work though because of the change that I just made. It almost looks like we need 2 lanes to get onto the highway here. Not so worried about this direction. Yeah, I think we really need a time traffic light here. Looks like we already have one, and it's the quick setup, and that's probably why we're having so much trouble. I don't know, maybe it's not. Where are these guys trying to go? Trying to turn left. That's part of the problem. What's with the last second lane changes? Is there a node there? There is a node there. Okay, so I've added a time traffic light here, and it has 3 cycles just to give some protected left turns. I probably have it too long on this one. I think I'm going to change that really quick. Don't think I need 12 seconds for those left turns. So we get left turns, then straight throughs and rights, and then the side road. And the side road gets green when the left turns are going. So since that's not in conflict, I also cleaned up the lane markings and made it so that we don't end up losing the zoning over here on Roger Street. Don't want that to happen. So let's see here. Looks like this intersection over here is working out quite a lot better. Oh, and I also made it so we have a dedicated left turn lane right here, which, seems to make sense. Change this up. Give both of these dedicated lefts. You know what? We'll do a dedicated right there. I think a right turn's more likely since they're going to the highway. I also took away the parking here on Broad Boulevard. I always intended for there not to be parking on here because it just doesn't seem like it would be right. I'm going to fix that right now, actually. Okay, so I use Zone It, another mod that works with zoning to fix all of the zoning. I'm going to turn it off now. And that should solve most of our problems here. Looks like I need to fix this though. All right, so yeah, I cleaned up the intersection a little bit so it's a little easier to see which lanes go where. Oh, one other thing I forgot to do. I do not want people turning right here, only left. I don't want anybody going straight here either. One last thing I want to do. Now, in a situation like this, it doesn't seem like you'd need to set priority, but you sort of do because right turns aren't going to jam anything up. These people turning left, though, they could get stuck in the middle of an intersection, so it's a better safety way to have right merges yield to the left. Okay, so that seems to be working better. I also found a more appropriate asset over here. I already moved the fence, so what are you going to do? That seems to be working really well. One thing I'm not crazy about here is I'm seeing trucks going through here. I don't think we want that, so I'm going to use TMPE to ban trucks here. I'm okay with them there, but I don't want them going any further. So now that should cut down quite a bit on that, and our traffic situation seems to improve drastically. Good movement through here, got good movement here. I am confident we can get rid of the roundabout now. All right, remove the roundabout, and now I'm going to put a traffic light back in here. That kind. Oh, there already is a traffic light. Okay, we're good. I rezoned this a little bit, and I think we're good without that roundabout. I rezoned this a bit here, though, because I wanted to have office development here and not commercial, because it's just going to put a bunch of delivery trucks through here that are going to get in the way. What happened here? That's weird. In fact, I'm going to rezone a few of these houses over here to be offices. Let's see our unemployment here. Lost some population, so unemployment has actually improved. Not exactly sure why we're losing population though. Okay, so we've got a problem here. Oh, that's weird. Let's not do that. That is a pretty busy intersection right there. All right, so we have more traffic on Concord Boulevard here. I'm not really sure if this is going to stay this way. It might not. So we've got a couple of bus stops for transfers there. I feel like maybe this bus stop should be after the intersection. Whoops. It's usually where planners tend to put them, although that doesn't make as No, I don't think it's too bad. Urban designers usually like them to be after intersection because that way the bus moves along. It's not likely to hit anybody who just got off the bus because they'll be behind the bus instead of crossing in front of the bus. That looks like that cleared out, so we're good there. Sometimes patience clears traffic. This is all working really well over here, so I'm happy with that. What is going on here? Got a little traffic jam. Is it just because of the tram? Looks like it. That'll clear. Everything looks good over here. Things are still working okay over here. We're not really getting all of the stuff off of Main Street though. So what I'm gonna do, this traffic light is definitely a problem. I need to get trams through it, and I need to prioritize that. And I think I went through and I banned a bunch of cars. I think I banned a bunch of traffic on some of these streets here. Let me see here. You know, I'm sort of thinking that I need to just put in a priority signal here for that street, or I just need to time it. It doesn't look like it's congested with trams quite as much as it used to be. Oh, definitely not. We are having problems getting all the cars through. Do we already have a traffic light here? No, we don't. I think we need one. The bicyclists through here are very all over the place. Okay, it looks like that was a temporary blip. Boy, it's tempting to add a signal there just to get the trams going through. I did ban left turns through here, except for here, of course, because that's where the trams used to make a left. I think they do anymore. Speaking of trams, let's take a look at how those are doing. Hopefully things have spread out. It looks like we're getting a lot more utilization. Ooh, still some really busy stops. But the trams are more spread out now. Let's take a look at the other lines. This one seems to be doing really well. No overwhelmed stations on Highland and 11th. Highland and 3rd is busier. We don't have any overwhelmed stations. Loops are working well. So the Federal line is our problem here. Where are our busy stations here? Okay, right there, that definitely makes sense. So most of them seem to be downtown, I imagine. Yep, that's what I figured right there. So going into downtown and going out of downtown, they're all downtown stops. Makes me think. We have this bus line. How is that bus line doing? Douglas and 5th. That bus line is doing well. So I'm tempted to put a Chestnut Street line in. Everybody's trying to get to the transit hub. I would love to know where they're going after that. Let me fix this. Sure, that's my fault. Ah, I know why. All right, we're gonna move that stop right there. Let's leave it over here. Yeah, we'll do that. I know it's a little backwards from what I just said, but it's before this intersection. And the reason why that happened is because the buses need room to get over to the left lane in order to turn. Over here we have a problem. Looks like we have an extra traffic light we don't need. Goodbye. So let's see how that bus line is doing right here. Oh, that's really busy. Interesting. It makes me wonder. A little part of me wonders if I shouldn't maybe run across Chestnut Street with the bus over to Boulevard Park. All right, we'll try that. We'll try extending that line and see if it takes a little pressure off of Chestnut Street, off of the Federal line. All right, so that'll put more on Chestnut Street. We'll have to see how that goes in the next episode. And we still have more to do over in Dale Hill. Everything's working well over here. Traffic looks great. Let's take a look at that Chestnut Street line we just changed. We definitely increased ridership. All right, now that is going which direction? It's going out. Yeah, I sort of suspected this. I think we need more vehicles on this line. So there's a lot of demand to go out to Green Park. Yeah, a lot of demand to go out to Green Park and to come in from Green Park. Where are the downtown stops I added? It doesn't look like anybody's coming into downtown. Unless those buses just haven't stopped anywhere yet. That's a possibility. Even if they didn't stop anywhere, there's not really any demand to go that way until you get over here. Let's see what the Federal line's got going. Alright, so that has helped take off some of the load. We don't have any overwhelmed stations on the Federal line anymore, but I think we have caused problems on this bus line because a lot of people are trying to come out of Green Park. They haven't had any buses come through there yet, so we'll check on this. I'm not totally convinced that this worked the way I wanted it to. It's not. Maybe that'll catch up. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Okay, so that should solve all of that. Coming up here to Dale Hill, let's fill some of this back in. Let's check our unemployment really quick, see where we're at. 6%, we could use a lot more everything. Let's take a look at, oh man, that is backing up some. We'll take a look at that too in the future. Okay, so we've got lots of elementary schools, but we don't have them in this neighborhood. Could we fit one here against the hill? That might help a little. We don't have any high school access over here either. That one would be a little easier to solve. Looks like we could fit one right there. Let's get an elementary school in this neighborhood too. That looks okay. Throw a few trees in there. That's looking a little goofy. Take those out for right now. Okay, it looks like we could use a little more commercial. This is a good little hub. I think I want to just keep extending that a little bit. Maybe we could use more commercial over here, I think. I don't think we have the room over there. Well, you know what? We probably have the business, though. Let's add some commercial. Let's put some right here. So we've got quite a bit of mixed zoning here. We've got lots of office and commercial in an area that was completely devoid of it just a bit ago. We've got some high density residential we're putting in here as well. This should really round this neighborhood out quite a lot more. There we go. If we take a look at Pine Hill now, we're going to see much more balanced population. In fact, we're going to see it more tilted towards workers than households, which is good for right now. Dale Hill, on the other hand, also more workers than households, so that will allow us to grow our population quite a bit. We've got more room here that I need to use for offices. Land value in Dale Hill is much higher. Land value in Pine Hill is much, much higher. That's wonderful. Okay, looks very different, doesn't it? Really looks good. Now, one of the things that some of you are probably thinking about are sightlines. What are our sightlines like? When we're down on the ground, this is the wrong street. It's Main Street. Well, that's not too bad. I'm on 11th Street, though. Oh, used to be able to see right from the waterfront down 11th. Here we go. This is 11th Street. We got a skyscraper canyon going on here. That was not here before. So you can see that rotunda, big and beautiful. Looks great. Let's look from over the rotunda. I think it's going to be a little easier to see what we have and what we're missing. Whoa, too low. Okay, so it looks like we've lost a lot of the visibility over in this neighborhood. It looks like that's been long lost though, and I don't really think I'm going to worry too much about it. Not sure I want these two towers right here. What level are those assets? Level 3 office. I thought we had a high-rise ban here. Maybe we don't. Maybe I didn't move the neighborhood boundaries. Ah, it's part of Bayview, which allows high-rises. Okay, so let's replace those with something smaller. We'll use Find It for this. We want office. Oh, we want what size are those? 2 by... Okay. Interesting. Those must be 2 by 2 buildings. Let's put those there. And then this is looking like it's level 4 residential, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's quite tall. Let's take a look now. Yeah, that's a little better. It's not everything it was, but it still looks really good. Dale Hill has transformed quite a bit here, and we have better traffic flow. Might be able to use a protected left here, but I don't know. I think it looks really good with the vanilla traffic light. Everything works pretty well. It would be more organized with a protected left. All right, now let's look at the trams here. Actually, let's look at traffic. Let's just see if everything is holding up. That's looking good. It's working. It could be working better. I could probably use, yeah. Oh, we need 3+1 here. Then we could have protected lefts. Well, it looks like we're doing okay without the protected lefts. I'll let it go. This is backed up. No, those are parked cars. That's backed up a little bit. I'm really surprised that that is that popular of a route. This is backed up some. Why is that? Everybody wants that lane. Ah, all right. We're gonna change that up a little bit. These guys, all the highway users are gonna be in the left lane, and all of the straight throughs are gonna be in the right lanes, in the right turns. Let's see if that helps. It'd be great if the cars weren't getting in the way from the last cycle. Probably just need to coordinate this light right here. Well, put a light here and coordinate it just to keep the pedestrians from being in the way and the trams. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. That is working okay. It's not the way I'd like it to be. Douglas isn't exactly the way I'd like it to be, but it does clear when we get the green lights. It's because the lights are so long and we've got despawning turned off that things are working this way. But I think all in all, everything is working pretty well. One thing we don't need is Green Street. There we go. Now somebody can completely develop this area and jam traffic up over here by trackside at this interchange again. Oh, it'll be lovely. And then we'll see Biffa put a roundabout back in. Well, who cares? I did my part. Well, Dale Hill's busy, but it's not backed up. This is getting busy, but it's not backed up just yet. Oh, we got a green light. That'll clear out the highway ramp. It's actually working really well. This could be a little better. When do I get a green light there? There we go. Everybody's moving through now. Uh-oh. That wasn't long enough. That's not good. Let's give that a fix. Oh, 3 seconds. Oh, okay. We got 6 more. Yeah, I think we need that to be longer. Let's make that... Oh, let's make that 9 seconds long. It's a small difference, but it will stack up. It'll add up a lot. I hope I did that right. That's right. The other thing you'll see I did here is I made it so that this ramp here getting on, and this is really the key to why this is even working as well as it is. We've got 2 lanes getting on. They narrow to 1, but this allows lots of traffic to get through the light in 2 lanes instead of just 1, both from the right, making right turns on here and making lefts. What I think I might do, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna allow some dynamic lane selection here, and we'll see if that helps in getting this to clear out. So I really like them to use both lanes as much as possible. They seem to be favoring the leftmost lane, which happens a lot in real life in a situation like this. Doesn't look like it's made a difference so far. Now we're seeing more use of both lanes here, which will help move traffic a lot better. Now it looks like I need to get these guys to stay in their lane. Oh, they are staying in their lane. They're supposed to. Well, that's really strange. I don't know how they get to decide to do that. There's not even a node there. Well, anyway, it'll work. I don't know why it's doing that. I'd say that's working much better than before. Very busy downtown. All right, let's take one last look at the trams. How's the Federal line look? Really good. Really, really good. And how's that bus line? Chestnut. Hey, that's looking really good too. It could be a little better. Got enough buses on it though. It's spread out. I don't really see any empty buses on this line either, so that is more successful than I actually expected. And we have a couple of stops that are pretty heavy, but I think they'll work out. Let's take a look at the other tram lines here. 60%, that seems to be working well. Highland in 3rd, that seems to be working really well too. Our loops are working well too. Okay, that one's a little full. Well, I think that'll work. Should do it. And our unemployment, 5%. It's good. We're about to where the population was before we started. All right, so next episode, I have a date with Highland College. We've got to finish that up, and we're going to dress things up, dress up the campus. We're going to dress up Pine Hill, probably densify a little bit more over here. We have a few low density spots in here, but my main mission seems to have been accomplished pretty well. If you take a look at land value, that's what I wanted to see. Bright green Pine Hill, 71 credits per square meter, up from, I think it was 61. And this one was up from 55, I think. We can definitely improve that some. The other thing we'll do over here is industrialize some of this and officize some of this, because we've got a rail terminal here. It would be a shame not to have more industry over here, especially since these residents are really tired of the noise. So let's take care of them, and I think that will probably do it for me. Hey, I actually got to build stuff this week. Did you enjoy this video? Please leave a like. I hope you guys saw the new airport Imperator built, which will show up in Overcharged Eggs run this coming week. I've got one last episode in Port Concord to finish off Highland College. I hope you'll come back and see it. I want to thank my Patreon supporters who enjoy ad-free, some of them early access, and even behind-the-scenes access. Special thanks to my sponsor, Liscosity. Thank you for watching. So long!